let's start while we are waiting for people to join. But let's start with the introduction and let us know to each other. So I will be your mentor. So my name is Arpan Ghosh. So I have overall 19 years of experience in the corporate. Currently, I'm the director of my India head of the India branch of the fintech organization. Technically, I'm into the field of analytics, more so in the field of generative AI, being data scientist before. So worked and implemented analytical solutions, both from descriptive to predictive and now into the agentic AI world. So, and I love to teach. Teaching is my passion. So I've been associated with teaching with multiple institute for past 3.5 years, with Visualpath almost 2.5, 3 years now. So I have been one of their oldest mentors of teaching multiple courses, which one of them includes to be AIOps. Okay, so let me quickly share my screen so that you guys can understand. And you know, there's very few people are there, so let us understand how AI ops is different compared to the other. I'm sure you have heard of the term of DevOps. Okay, and who should learn AI ops, right? So we have DevOps, we have something called ML ops, and now a new term has come as LM ops. Okay, and there's what we are focusing on AI ops. Okay. I'm sure you guys have heard all this stuff. So DevOps is the most popular one and the original, and in terms of the operation maintenance. So it's all on operational maintenance and how we enhance, okay, or rather automate or enhance our operational activity. That is what it's all these ops are. And as we all know, DevOps help us for software development and deployment. You know it is associated. CI/CD pipelines are being done. Maintenance we will see in DevOps. Okay, and then we will see observability. Okay, observability is also associated. Several tools we might have heard of, like Jenkins, GitHub Actions. Okay, Airflow. So these are the different tools which is associated. So, and you might have heard of the profile as DevOps engineer, lead DevOps staff. All these people do that. So they are associated with application, generic any application, software development and deployment. What is this ML ops then? The ML ops are technically they should be data scientists. They should know about the machine learning. So they will associate it with machine learning, deep learning model deployments. Okay, there also should be maintenance of this model, the performance maintenance, observability, all this remains the same. Okay, CI/CD pipeline they will create for deployment of this machine learning. So focus is on machine learning related applications. Major tools you will use ML flow, DVC and stuff like that. Okay, obviously Dockerization is part of it. Dockers and Kubernetes, that is there. Okay. Now, what is this LLM ops? So it's like AI engineers. Okay, AI engineers who should know LLM ops. They will be related to LLM applications. That is just like Chat GPT applications, Q&A applications, content generation applications. They are building in, again associated with maintenance, observability, CI/CD pipeline. This remains common, but the applications are different. The application will be agentic AI applications, LLM applications, and stuff. Okay, tools will be slightly different. You will see something called Langsmith as one of the tools which they will work on. Okay, so more of an AI engineer who needs to know about LLM ops in terms of the maintenance and productivity and deployment of this one. AI ops now is slightly different. AI ops who will works? People associated with IT infrastructure people, infra team. We call them IT infra team, whose job is to anyway look after the infrastructure, working at the back end with the servers, with the logs, with the OS systems and stuff like that, right? So for them, it is slightly different. Yes, so they are already part of the operations team who looks after the backend and do their patching activity, regular maintenance activity, software update, decommissioning certain things which is out of, if it is coming to an end of the legacy systems are coming to an end. So for them, the rule is little interesting. So people in AIOps guy should become a data scientist plus, okay, plus a GNI knowledge should also be there. So they need to have both this knowledge. Where here, if you see in MLOps, they need to have data science knowledge. DevOps, you do not need to have any of the data science and AI knowledge. While in NLOps, you need to have only AI knowledge. But an AI ops guy, they need to have both this knowledge. Why? Because you will be using both data science related machine learning models you will be creating to predict. Okay. To do what? To predict, say, when the downtime, okay, log sentiments. Okay. Event correlation simulations you will do, root cause analysis you will try to find out using models, machine learning models. That's why you should know data science in depth, okay, so that you can do that. Suppose noise reduction techniques, okay, deduplicating alerts are coming, duplicate alerts are coming, how you can do that you should, okay, when the spike will happen in the server, okay, future forecast probability, if the users are this much, when the spike will happen. So for all this predictive thing, I will rather say predictive thing, okay, for predictive thing, you need to have data science knowledge, okay. Then GenAI knowledge, that is the framework to create supply chain, you should have knowledge on, okay, where you will create LLM based application, okay, which will help you to automate and find out log summary. So you're not going to manually, nowadays what you do, you manually go to the logs, right? Root cause analysis, RCAs you do. Then you do Q&A, you will also do Q&A stuff. Like you will have a GenAI application, you give the Jira ticket, okay, on call people will get reduced, and then that Jira ticket basis the old one. GenAI will help you to do that. So that's why an AI ops guy who has a background, not domain knowledge about the infra in terms of the logs, the of logs we generate, okay, the log metric what we have, all these things. Once you know, you need to have two knowledge. One is your data science knowledge. One is your GenAI knowledge, which is important, so that you have an amalgamation of these two technology to help you automate, reduce your man hours of efforts, which will be required to do the stuff. And GenAI and ML will help us to do this, reduce this manual efforts. Okay. So since this curriculum is about AI ops, now if now you are clear what is the difference between DevOps, LLM ops, and AI ops. So what will be our curriculum, right, on AI ops? So definitely we need to learn two things. As it is very clear, I need to learn the machine learning. I need to learn GenAI. So in single course, you're getting both the flavors. So first of all, this course will be a 40 hours session, Monday to Friday, 1 hour per day. So 5 hours a week, just total 40 hours. Okay. What we are going to cover? Definitely, we are going to cover about IT operations. First takes definitely about IT operations because it is about AI ops. So understanding system monitoring, okay, incidents, what is all this all about, system monitoring and incidents, those basic theoretical understanding we will understand, okay. That is what we'll understand about AI ops. Then what is the difference between traditional monitoring and AI ops monitoring? So AI ops way of monitoring versus traditional monitoring, so those things we will try to understand so that we create our base on this stuff. Okay. Types of logs. What are the types of IT ops are there, that we will try to understand? Logs, metrics, events, all these things we'll try to understand. We will try to simulate and generate synthetic logs. Simulations we will do for synthetic logs, and all these things we will try to generate. Then there is a big module of ML will come up where we will try to understand about supervised versus unsupervised. Unsupervised machine learning. Those things we'll try to understand. Individual type, there are different types of machine learning models are there, like linear regression. This will sound jargons right now, but we will understand in depth. Okay. Logistic regression, distance entries, random forest, all these things we will try to understand. You will see the details curriculum in the Visualpath website also. I'm just giving a very high level thing. And then we will do the labs practically, where we will try to classify the synthetic, no, the classify the memory using predictions. Okay, log classification. We will do practical sessions. We will have where no log classifications we will do using ML. So once we know the ML, how we can using Python. So definitely we will use Python as a coding language. Okay, so we will try to do certain log classification, log sentiment analysis. All these things we'll try to create event correlation, root cause analysis, visual alerting. So we'll create visual alerting is one of the interesting project we will do. Okay, using Python, how we can create dashboards and the alerts can be using a threshold that alerts can be highlight. Anomalies, which is very important. Anomalies means outliers. What are outliers? Something which is spike has happened. Suddenly there's a spike. There's an outlier which has happened. Why it has happened? What is the reason for that? How visually we can identify those outliers? Those things we will try to learn and do that. Okay. So once we complete all these things, the machine learning part, then we will move into our GenAI part, because we also need to learn GenAI. So in GenAI, we will learn using LangChain framework, using OpenAI. Okay. You will use GPT models. I'm sure you guys have heard of these models, GPT models. We will see the different components of LangChain, how in order to create an application, what are the things I need to know, right? So that there's something called runnables, okay, document loaders, how to document, how to load our log and see that. Okay, so basically the RAG part we will try to see that there. Output, how to control the output from the LLM, like structured output if I want to get. Okay, how to control that LLM, and obviously prompts, prompt engineering we will also understand. So what is prompts, how to write prompts to build that application, all these things we will try to understand here. Okay, and then definitely we will do the project. What is the project we will do? 3 projects: log summary, root cause analysis, and a chatbot we will create, which is a Q&A chatbot, which is like a encyclopedia who knows my system, and it will try to using that chatbot we will be able to interact and understand our any query regarding our system. We will be able to provide the response to that. So that chatbot we will be able to create. Okay, so with that we will be able to will complete our course into which is all this all about. Okay, alerting and all is not part of that is part of your configuration to generate the alert. Now what happens after the alert and you are notified, right? Suppose you are in on call, right? Now currently in your organization you have different engineers for different departments, right? For example, you are a OS level engineer, someone is a Java level engineer. So you are keeping 3-4 different technical people as on call. So the cost is high. Alert is generated. Those are all configuration part. Jira ticket is generated. Alert is generated. High priority ticket has come. Now, instead of having 4 people on call and paying cost, if I have a GenAI based application, now I can give one non-technical guy or a semi-technical guy. My cost is reducing. If I have a Q&A application which is trained on my old tickets and the resolutions taken. So that person just once the ticket has come, take the description of the ticket, go inside that application, and the application will tell you, guide you. This is the initial steps you can take to solve it. This is your historical thing which has happened. It will automatically analyze the log. It will go and check the logs and stuff if you upload the logs. Okay. And also it will show you the escalation matrix. Like if you are not able to do it, then only you go and call that net L2 level of engineers. So that type of, to build this type of Q&A based GenAI based application, that is AIOps, right? And for that, you need to have the knowledge as an operations guy, infra guy of GenAI, how to create this type of application, which will reduce my man hours of doing analysis, the logs. Okay. What you can do, you can just export the log, just upload the log into the system and write a prompt. Can you please find out the root cause of the issue which has happened basis this log? So now the system internally, the GenAI will go through that log by itself, and within seconds it will give you the root cause of what has happened. So, but you have to build that application, right? You cannot do like that way, right? You have to build that application. So it's custom to your data. Okay. So that knowledge you are going to learn here, where you will need to have a knowledge of GenAI and OpenAI and how to create this type of application using Python coding and frameworks like LangChain, which will help you to create this type of application. Yeah, so let me write it down. What tools we will use. So we are going to use something, obviously Python. Okay, Python is your coding language. In order to do Python, we will use Jupyter Notebook, and definitely we will use any IDE, say Visual Studio Code or PyCharm, whatever you have. These IDEs will be used. Okay, and a Conda will be installed to create Conda environments, virtual environments. Let's say we will, and obviously OpenAI services and all. So OpenAI is a paid service. So that OpenAI services we will use to call the GPT models, right? The GPT models $10 cost is there, so that GPT models will be using it. Okay.
Any cloud services solution here?
No, cloud we are not going to use because they are costly. So since we are learning, we will use non-cloud solutions. Only cost apart from the enrollment or the fee which you pay to Visualpath is this $10, which is almost like a lifetime for you because it's a pay per use. Everything we will build from scratch. So we will build by our own application using a framework like Streamlit. We will add, as I said, Python. We will use in that framework, we will use called LangChain, which is the important framework generally for GenAI applications. We'll be using it. Now we will learn as we do go. So don't worry, you can easily update your certain path. Prerequisites. What we need and next act. Prerequisite is nothing. You can use your laptop. Only thing, how we teach, you will be sharing the screen. So you should be join from your personal laptop. That is very important. Don't join from mobile. Don't join from office laptop because we will be doing practical session. So this entire course, 85% is practical. Okay. Hence, you will be sharing the screen, doing that live. Obviously, I will guide you. I will give you the share you the code, everything, doing that live so that you can create these applications and understand what is all is there. Okay, that's the only prerequisite. Python knowledge. We will learn Python along with the Go. People who are totally new to Python, don't worry. We will understand Python, what is basics which is required to help us build these applications. Okay. Next action items, please do the enrollment. Once you do the enrollment, you will get three things: WhatsApp group, Google Drive link, the SharePoint link. All these are lifetime. WhatsApp group definitely for communication. My number will be there even offline, doubts clearance and all we can do. Google Drive link where I will upload all the documentation. Basically, this is your knowledge base, your codes, your the documentation and all PDFs and all. SharePoint link is where your these meetings, I mean these classes recordings will be stored. It is D+1. Generally, one day later they just upload the previous day's recording so that you can. It's also lifetime. You can go back and then just check and revise what we are going to what you have learned in the previous section, so that even if you miss or you want to revise, you can just go and check and do that. So this will obviously happen once you do the enrollment. Once you do the enrollment, we will start this course at the earliest timings and all. You can just check with your point of contact with the visual team. This is your suitable time, either in the morning, evening, whatever they will try to allocate this course start. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. See you soon. Please reach out to your point of contact at the earliest. Thank you.